Hey, Miss Jennifer, how you doing? You were on my heart earlier this morning. It was earlier this morning. I said I haven't seen Miss Jennifer lately. How you doing? Happy November to you. I don't think I saw you on that. I haven't seen you in a few days, but happy blessed November to you. Happy blessed November to you. It is a good day. It is a pleasant day here in Mississippi. It is not too hot. It ain't too cold. It is literally just right. It was cold this morning. It was cold this morning, though. It really was. Our declaration of what God wanted me to get on here to talk about. And I'm going to say this. It has been a very interesting day. I'm going to just say that I don't know if it has been interesting for some of you guys. This week in itself has just been so very busy. It's been very productive. It's really been a week where I'm like, God, it feels like I have been pulled in so many different directions, all at the same time. Listen, from oil pulling, you got your tooth pulled? That what you're trying to say? Oil pulling, I don't know what that is. What is that? Is that a thing? What is it? Whatever it is, honey and tea. And I don't know why I hear lavender. Get you a tea with some lavender in it. It will help you with a little squeeze of lemon, lemon. Oh, you're doing oil pulling. Oh, get you some tea and honey with a little bit of oil pulling. Hey, Miss Allen, blessings to you. But today has been a very interesting day. It's been a day. It's been a week. It's been a busy week. It's been a productive week. But it's also been it's been a week of, honestly, seeing new things emerge and old things die, if that makes sense. And so after the kind of morning that I've had, it's been a busy morning, but I had an instance of having to let someone go for God said I need to say for gaslighting me. I just had to say, God, I'm just going to release this person. I'm not doing that anymore. Stop. I'm not doing that anymore. But the word that he gave me for this particular broadcast is, I'm not done flowing. And it's kind of like, I think for me in the past, it was really hard for me to let go of old things, old people. I would oftentimes cling. And so it's I was telling God earlier today, I said, Lord, and this is not the word, but I think it's a part of it. But I was telling God, I said, Lord, once you've gone through enough, once you've learned enough lessons, it becomes easier to let God have his way. It becomes easier to get rid of things that no longer serve you, things that stress you out, things that can potentially be toxic and that could potentially be a weight to you in the confines of new seasons and just the new things that God is doing. And so that was one thing that I noticed. But the word that he gave me for this broadcast is God is clearing the clutter. I'm going to say it again. God is clearing the clutter. In this season, as we embrace this time of extreme harvest, as we embrace crossing over into our promises, the things that God has promised us, he wants me to say it comes with exposure. It comes with exposure, meaning as we're entering into our promises, the things we've been waiting for, the things that we've been standing for, as we receive our harvest, as we work for it, we have to understand that those blessings, sometimes the blessings in our life, sometimes the new thing that God does in our life, it makes the things that cannot go with us, it makes them stick out like a sore thumb, right? I'm gonna say it again because I feel like I kind of just, hey, Miss Baldwin, I'm gonna say it again because I feel like I kind of stumbled through that. So it's as we embrace the new season, as we embrace all the different things that God is doing in our life, it makes the things that no longer fit our life, the people that no longer fit our life, it makes them stand out like a sore thumb. And that's another thing that this month is going to bring for so many of us. It's just God exposing how sometimes old mindsets, the way that we think about certain things, it may be something that you need to release. It may be your relationship with money. It may be, certain people that may have once at some point been beneficial to your life. It's kind of like God saying what once served you, may not serve you in this season. And so as we embrace all the things that God is doing, like in our life, what God is simply saying is, this is his way of clearing the clutter. And it's like as God clears the clutter, it makes the route that we're traveling down in life, it makes it more apparent. It brings clarity. It's kind of like, as we just embrace the things that God is saying, or even the people that God is saying we need to release in this season. It's like once you release them, the understanding like really comes. I'm going to say that again. Once you release them, the understanding, like it really begins to like come in. And so again, this is a season and a time where God is saying he is clearing the clutter. Now, a lot of times, we hear clear the clutter, and we hear from the aspect of God telling us to clear the clutter. That makes me tongue tied. But in this month, in this phase of life that we're in, within this new season, within this new thing, God is saying, hey, Sabrina, he's saying, stop. He's saying that he is the one that is exposing what has to go. I'm going to say it again. What he's saying is that he is the one in this season, especially during the month of November, that is exposing the things that have to go. And it's kind of like this, It's like making way for the new, making way for like the things that like God has for us. And even now, God is like, he keeps dealing with me like with farmers. I'm not a farmer, y'all. I don't have a green thumb. I don't have the patience for it. I don't like bugs. I don't like to get my hands dirty. I will work, y'all, but I don't like to like get, I don't like that. I don't know why I'm like that with my hands, but y'all, I don't know about y'all. I don't like that. I don't like to get dirt on my hands. I really don't. I think it is a trauma response from like growing up, but God has been dealing with me about farmers. And so it's like this. When a farmer is harvesting, like going throughout like their crops and harvesting, harvesting like the crops, they don't just put every piece of vegetable or every like piece of fruit that's on a plant like in their, their little harvesting bucket or whatever it is that they use to like harvest their crops, but they weed through it, right? Think about it. They weed through it. I like ladybugs. They cool with me. I like when you touch them, they just roll up into a ball. I like them too. I don't like really nothing else though. Don't ask me nothing else. I don't like nothing else. Hey, Visha, I don't like no other type of bugs, y'all. Don't ask me nothing else, Miss Natasha. Please don't. Definitely don't like spiders. But when a farmer is harvesting their crops, they don't keep everything that grows, right? Because they understand that just because, a plant bears a lot of peppers, it bears a lot of tomatoes. Every tomato on that plant is not going to be good. Some of them will have mold. Some of them will have like a fungus starting to grow. Some of them are, they're cut. Your crop, you may have bugs that have eaten off of some of your crop. And so what the farmer does as they're harvesting, which, just tried to call me. I hope that I'm good. But what a farmer does, and I called you Miss Natasha. I'm sorry, Natasha. You don't like for me to say Miss. So Natasha. But what a farmer does as they're harvesting like those crops, they are actually weeding through it, separating what can go with me and what has to be thrown away. Give me a one if like y'all understand. Like for real, think about it. When a farmer is harvesting, yes, it's exciting to walk outside, to walk in your garden and you see a whole bunch of tomatoes. You see a whole bunch of like fruit. You see a whole bunch of whatever it is that you've grown. But it would be foolish for us to think that we can take all of that off of that plant and take it with us. Different things happen to the plants that are growing. And so what a farmer does is they look, they observe it, and they say, this is good. This has to go. Right? People keep calling me. I'm sorry. I can keep this, but this thing has to go. And so like in this season of our life, especially in the month of November, with it being a month and a time of extreme harvest, with it being a time of like breakthrough, with it being a time of like many of us crossing over into the things that we've been believing God for. God is the farmer, and he is combing through all of our lives, and he's saying, this can stay and this has to go. This person can stay and this person has to go. This thought process can stay and this process has to go. And I'm gonna say this, like, for some people, like, it is going to like literally be so very like shocking to like so many people as God begins to literally like expose the things that you have to let go of that are no longer serving you in this season. And I want y'all to think about it from this perspective, because a lot of times we fight God in this area when God is saying let go of something, and when God is saying, keep something. We fight God. But think about it from this aspect. Y'all know that like when you go to the grocery store and you buy like blueberries or blackberries, like those things mold super quickly. Like, has anybody else noticed that? Like, if you go to the store and you get like blackberries or blueberries, like they tend to mold really quickly. And sometimes, no matter how much you comb through blackberries or blueberries to like, see what it's like, to see if it's a good batch, there are still just some times where you may miss that one blueberry that has mold growing out of it. So think about it from this aspect. If you open a box of blueberries and you getting ready to eat them, and you see one that has mold on it, meaning it can make you sick, are you going to eat it? Are you going to eat it? 9 times out of 10, I hope 10 times out of 10, what you going to do? You're going to throw it away. And I'm like this, any blueberry that was touching it, I'm also going to throw that one away. I don't want nothing that was touching this bad fruit, right? Because leaving bad fruit in the mix of like good fruit, it damages it. It makes that good fruit turns into bad. So let's just say this. Let's just say you leave the molded blue that in that container, right? Let's just say you leave the molded blackberry in that container. The next day you go into that container, please understand that it won't just be one molded blackberry or blueberry. Now you're going to have several, and it may even get to the point where that mold infects all the rest of the good fruit too. Now you got to throw the entire box away. Our lives are the same way, right? And it's like, think about it from this aspect. A molded fruit was not always a molded fruit. I'm going to say it again. Like, a molded piece of fruit was not always a molded piece of fruit. At some point, it was good. But along the way, whether it was moisture, whether it was just the environment or whatever the case may be, that good fruit turned bad. And so it's like if you leave that piece of bad fruit amongst other like good fruit, that bad fruit will turn all the rest of that good fruit absolutely bad. I pray that I'm making sense. So in life, in some seasons, certain mindsets are blessings to us. They help us. Certain people are blessings to us. They help us, right? How we operate in life. In one season, it may be more of a blessing. But it's like what is good in one season for us as we grow, as we progress in life, as we go from faith to faith and from glory to glory, the dynamics of what is good for us, it also changes. I feel the Holy Spirit. I'm going to say it again. The dynamic of like what's good for us as we grow, as we heal, as we become more and more the person that God wants us to be, what's good for us also changes. And so in seasons, especially times of harvest, times where we are reaping the benefits of like sowing, not even just sowing financially, sowing seeds of obedience, going through our process, God has to comb through our lives and he has to get rid of the bad fruit. And a lot of times, here's the thing, God can tell you that something is bad fruit for your life, but us looking at it, we'll be like, God, that thing ain't bad. It ain't molded. Like, it ain't molded, right? But God sees internally what we don't see. When you think about like mold, a lot of times it starts on the inside. It stems from the inside of a piece of fruit. Think about it. And it just begins to grow like a fungus almost. and you begin to like see it. So a lot of times as God is saying like, let go of this, let go of that, let go of that person, it's because he is seeing things on the inside that have not yet manifested in a way that we can see that this thing is bad. Now, I used to be that person where I ignored. I used to fight God when he would say to let go of certain things and people. And it would always get to the point where I would put myself in a position where now I'm going through a hurt that I didn't have to go through. Now I'm going through a situation that I didn't have to go through. I allowed this to manifest when God told me ahead of time so that it did not get to the point of manifesting into something that could be detrimental, detrimental to me emotionally, physically, financially, whatever the case may be. And so in this season of life, this stemmed from a revelation, a conversation that I had with someone. And I literally had to say, I forgive you for gaslighting me. I forgive you, but I'm going to release you in love. It stemmed from this type of conversation where I literally said, listen, I forgive you for gaslighting me, but I'm also releasing you, meaning I want nothing else to do with you. I have nothing else. I want nothing else to do for you. And it just stemmed off of something that I felt like it's time for. It would stem from something that they did. But I understood that in what they did, God allowed them to do what they did to show me this is someone that you need to let go of, because if you don't, it's only going to cause you more of a headache on down the line. It's only going to usher in a state of confusion. It's only going to hinder you. And it's like, I was telling God, I was asking God the question, like, how did I get to this point where I don't fight you so much? And I think that's the question that a lot of people have. And I even had to tell God, and I'm a firm believer in, I can't be bought. God says I need to say that because this is where it stemmed from. I cannot be bought. Whether you sow into this ministry, whether you tithe here, like, I'm not going to tell you that God said something. I'm not going to tell you what you want to hear. I'm not going to tell you something that God is not saying. And I'm not going to be like, manipulated into just telling you whatever it is you want. I'm just not going to do it. And I'm not going to be gaslit by anybody. But I was asking God the question, like, how did I get to a point where I'm not fighting you on this? Like, it'd be like one side, that's all it take for me. And I'd be like, God, I'm done. But God told me, he said, and this is the let me just go back to what I was going to say. Then I'm going to get into this next point. But God told me, he said, what happened was why you're more receptive is because you've grown to another level in faith. And you've seen this type of situation play out so much, right? You've seen this situation play out to such a degree that you understand that if I'm telling you to let go of a person, it is for your benefit. No, God is saying let go of somebody and I didn't. And now I'm in an abusive situation, right? Now I'm in a situation where I'm having to fight the demons, or the demons or someone else are attacking me because I didn't let go. Right now, I've been in those situations. And so it got to the point, especially from the last season, where I said, God, if you say let go, I don't have no questions. Whatever you say, it literally goes. And so that was kind of where this revelation stemmed from. Like, no, I will cut you off before I let you manipulate me and gas. Baby, I'll cut you off in a heartbeat. I will cut you off in a heartbeat, because in so many words, this person was saying, I don't hear God. And I'm just like, because I'm not telling you what you want to hear, goodbye. And that's just, that just is what it is. And I understand it comes with the territory, and it's no bad blood or anything, but it was just a moment of me calling a spade. And as I sought God about it, because it really jarred me, it surprised me, caught me off guard. But as that happened, the Lord just told me, and this really put my soul at peace. He said, he told me, he said, I'm clearing the clutter is all this is. That was what he said. I'm clearing the clutter. Be at peace. I'm clearing the clutter. So be at peace. No amount of, and God knows, no amount of money can make me be unloyal to God. I'm like, God, yeah. And it was a test for me too, because I'm like, God, could I benefit off this person tithing? I could. It would help me pay my rent. And I'm just being real. It would help me pay my rent, but will I sacrifice that? No. Keep your money. Don't tithe here. I'm releasing you. And that was really the root of the conversation. Don't tithe. Do not tithe here. Find somewhere else to tithe. I can't do it. I cannot be unloyal to God. No. I can't do it. And so that was pretty much where this revelation, where it stemmed from. And like I say, like the month of November for me has been like truly different. This is like the first month I'm back to paying rent. Rental assistance has ended. And so it's like I am back to paying rent. And so I have the majority of what I need. I have over half of what I need. Shy of what I need to pay it in full. And so it's kind of like I haven't paid rent anywhere in maybe like a year and a half. Maybe like maybe like a whole year. It's been about a year and a half. And so I'm grateful for it, but it's kind of like I'm getting back into the hang of what paying my bills, paying my rent. And so that's different. But I also understand, like, I needed the break during that Job season, but now I'm not in that Job season, and I'm okay with having the faith to believe you for like what I need. And it's kind of like, moments like that are great tests of faith, especially when, for me at least, when I'm faced with the opportunity, it's either you tell me what I want to hear and I tithe to you, I sow to you. And if you don't tell me what I want to hear, I'm not. So it's kind of like, it's a thin line that many people, they cross that line. But I was just like, I can't do that. You don't tithe here. I'm releasing you in love. Not going to do it. Not going to do it at all. And so that is kind of like where I am. It's been a good month. It's been a weird month. It's been a productive month. And so that is it, y'all. That is it. Don't get attached to the things that God is saying gotta go. That includes people. He want me to say this again. What was once good in one season, what was once a blessing in one season, because you've grown, because you've elevated, it may not be good. The definition of what's good for your life, it shifts as we grow. It shifts as we, elevate. It shifts, and you got to be okay with that. You absolutely have to be okay with that. And so that is the broadcast. That was what God gave me. And so I am not going to add anything to it, and I am not going to take away anything from it. If you feel led to sow, the funds, I have 3 more days to pay it. But the funds are going towards my rent. At the moment, the goal is 609. Can somebody type that in? That is the goal. That's not telling anybody to go out and sow 609, but it's just saying that for those of y'all that are sowing seeds into these words, to the ministry in general, that is where the money is going to. It's just going to pay my rent. I'm for the most part caught up on the other bills. I think I have my light bill that's due. But rent is the main thing that my focus is. And so that is where we are. If you're sowing seed into this word, I would just tell you to label this. You're clear the clutter. So he has not given me an amount. If you're sowing seed into the goal, whatever it may be, whether it's $1, whether it's 609, you let God lead you. But I just ask that if you guys are sowing seed, particularly into the goal, that y'all just label it paid in full, and that's it. Or you can label it. This is just so much new stuff this month, and this is outside of that. I'm done talking about that. I'm done talking about the goal. That's the goal. That is where the money is going. So if you want to sow, if the ministry blesses you, the ways to sow are there. PayPal, Cash App, it's in the description. But I had a moment today. Y'all, my puppy is growing up. Bo is growing up. So I don't know if y'all know that, like most male dogs, you guys have probably seen it. Most boar dogs, when they use the bathroom, when they pee, They lift their little leg up. But Bo been so little, I ain't never seen him lift his little leg up to pee. Yo, I took him outside and I looked up. His little leg was hiked up. I almost shed a whole tear. I'm like, Lord, not he growing up. Not he didn't start hiking his little leg up. He's so little. I just saw that little drumstick hiked up. I said, I can't believe it, Lord. Absolutely can't believe it. And so that is it, y'all. If you guys want to purchase like fleece sets, they were on the website last night, but y'all can purchase fleece sets, Trust God t-shirts. Listen, I almost shed a whole tear. I'm like, I had to double look. I'm like, his little leg hiked up. Listen, that little drumstick, it's a little drumstick. Capone got a ham hock leg. Listen, y'all, don't ask. Y'all know ham hocks are big. I say Capone got ham hock legs because they big and meaty. Bo has, that's okay. No, you're not out of line, Miss Allen. You're not out of line. You ain't out of line. Bo got little drumsticks. He got the little chicken drumhead. He got little drumhead legs. He itty bitty. But I saw it up. I said, Lord, not he growing up on me. I just cannot. And so that is it, y'all. I'm going to get off of here as we get closer to our goal of what I'm believing God for to pay rent in full. I am definitely going to let y'all know where we are on that goal. Once we meet the goal, I will let you guys know. After we meet the goal, everything will probably start going towards the light bill. But for right now, that is it, y'all. Excuse me. I love y'all. I am rooting for you guys. I appreciate all of you guys that sow into the ministry and, don't get mad when God says something that you don't want to hear. I'm grateful for those of y'all that don't try to manipulate the anointing. I'm grateful for those of y'all that do not gaslight. I think that is the worst thing you can do to a real authentic man or woman of God is try to make them feel like they're not hearing God because God is saying something through them that you don't want to hear. I am so grateful for those of y'all that don't put that pressure, because that is a battle that it's as a leader, I don't ever want to I never want to feel that way I am fighting because I'm not telling you what you want to hear. Now I have to deal with you gaslighting me, and now I'm questioning my ear to hear God. That is the, last thing that anybody wants. Even if you're not a leader, nobody wants to feel confused on whether or not they are hearing God's voice. No one wants to have that area of your life attacked because it is the most valuable and the most precious area of your life. And this may be a wake-up call to some of you guys. When people gaslight you, specifically your ear to hear God, you need to run. I'm going to say that again. When people gaslight you, when people try to make you feel like you don't hear God because you're not saying something, when they attack your ear to hear God, you need to run. There's not an argument in the world. This person was still responding to me. I just stopped responding. I'm releasing you. I'm not doing that. I'm not doing back and forth. Keep your money. I'm straight. I'm good. I am good. Run. Because that's an area of your life that you can't afford. None of us can afford to have that area of our life attacked. It's unnecessary warfare. I'm going to say it again. It's unnecessary warfare. It is a very tender place in all of our lives, to have that relationship with God. Anybody that challenges that in a negative way, anybody that tries to poke holes in your relationship with God, run. Are you in? Run. Don't listen. Release them, forgive them, and go the opposite direction. There's no further conversation. I'm not finna explain what gaslighting is, how you get. I don't have time. It's an energy drainer because that person is not going to see it from your perspective at all. They're going to continue to talk. It's narcissistic. They're going to continue to talk in circles. Yep. And so, that is it, y'all. That is it. Again, the links are there if you feel led to sow. Our goal at the moment is 609. I have, like I said, I have over half of what I need to pay it, but I'm 609 shy of what I need to go ahead and pay it in full. And so that is it. That is it. As we meet the goal, I'm gonna let y'all know. As we get closer, I will definitely let y'all know. And so I love y'all, man. I'm rooting for you. I'm gonna enjoy some more of this pleasant Mississippi weather. And I'll be back on whenever God leads me to. I don't plan to do any extra broadcasts or any of that. I feel like I need to say this. I don't feel the need to do any of that. It's like, if you're gonna sow, and just let that be it. I'll come on when God tells me to come on, when I have a word. But that's it, y'all. I love y'all. I'm rooting for you. And so till next time, y'all. Peace.